Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you're at. Welcome to the Friday Focus. My name is Jake Cunningham, and I welcome you to another edition of the weekly webinar series. I want to thank you for your patience. This past month, I've done a lot of traveling, went over to Canada, across the border here, and am excited to be launching here the Chrysalis E. Geodynamic frequency generator, which I'm going to be sharing in the months to come. So stay tuned. And then also went back to Colorado, my hometown of Boulder, Colorado, to visit my father, my brothers, sister, nieces, nephew, and had a great time connecting with family, which is why I believe we all do this, right? So I want to welcome you to another Friday. Today, I also, by the way, have some great upcoming speakers. My father, Bill Cunningham, Dr. Steve, who is part of a new software development with Dr. Professor Nelson, Desiree Dubonnet, and there's some other great speakers, teachers, as the momentum starts to grow. So I just want to welcome you, wish everybody a happy summer. And today is special. We're going to talk about the power of product, and how finding the right products for your practice can help you thrive, and help your ultimately the end user, your clients and your patients thrive. So what we have here is an article that I wrote a few years back. This is late 2012, and this article is one because I realized that every practitioner, all of you have your own different, let's call it starting point in your practice. What I mean by that is some of you have medical backgrounds where you have already a very, very extensive repertoire of your supplements, of your nutritional products, of your different instruments and tools. Some of you are just getting started in your practice, or some of you maybe are using your technology or your different, let's call it your resources, your equipment, your lights, your biofeedback, your PEMF pads, your different education, and you're starting to enter into the professional market. This is a great overview and some great ideas and 8 simple strategies for how you can implement the power of product into your practice. The first question to ask is, are you ready to add nutritional products to your practice? I want to say to everybody, no matter what level you're at in terms of your professional experience as a wellness provider of stress management, stress reduction, or some of your other modalities. If you're a licensed chiropractor and your adjustments to acupuncture and your meridian sessions, no matter what it is, I believe everybody needs to implement I call it the brick and mortar element to a lot of the energetic shift that the lights, the acupuncture needle, the adjustments do. All biofeedback. Think of those as the blueprint, whereas the brick and mortar is the nutrition, food, relationships that they fill in once that blueprint and the engineer, or let's call you the architect, to create that environment to build from is set. So here we go. I'm going to read this article. I'm also going to provide it in the link as a download. Nutrition is one of the fastest growing markets in the country. Today's marketplace is flooded with a vast assortment of nutritional products. In every aisle, whether it's your Whole Foods or your, even now today, your King Soopers, your Kroger, your Vons, your Meijer, all the national chains of grocery stores, and I'm not going down the road too much of a lot of the GMO product, things of this nature. I'm just kind of blanketing this, but you'll find the growing expansion of not only organics and the natural product lines, but the nutritionals, the supplements, and you'll notice that sometimes it's overwhelming. According to the Nutrition Business Journal, vitamins and minerals and dietary supplements grew from 9.2% to 3 billion in 2010 in the food, drug, and mass merchandisers channel, and 4.2% in the natural channel, reaching 750 million. The recent data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's National Center for Health Statistics reported a 26% rise in the use of dietary supplements since 1994. People are starting to realize that they need to access and get greater nutrition to not only make up for the lack of nutritional density in our foods, but because we need elements in certain nutritionals that the body needs natural support with anyway, from the vitamin D to the B vitamins and certain elements that the body sometimes doesn't produce. Now, with this said, why? Why is it important to add nutritional products? Well, there's multiple benefits. Okay, one is the professional element, increase retention, success, and that retention is directly tied also to the results that people have. They get to carry the session home with them. They get to integrate the holistic, proactive wellness lifestyle into their life, their real life after the session or the treatment or the therapy that you provide. So there's that benefit, of course, and that's really what it's about. But that also increases your bottom line. It's a win-win. It's ultimately a win-win-win. The client wins, the practice wins, but the greater cause in terms of the economic element cannot be ignored. And with more energy coming back into your practice, it's a direct relationship to the value you're bringing to the marketplace. So it's a win-win-win. Unless you're not ready to take on and manage some of the, I call it the economic logistics of buying and wholesaling and retailing, or if it's a direct sales network model, managing that, that's the kicker. But when it comes to the benefits, it's a win-win-win to add professional product lines that serve, that you believe in. Now, the personal benefits is you become more of an expert and I call it a trusted authority in your field. And also you help people, which by your own experience, by adding a nutritional service and product, you reignite that exciting educational experience for yourself, enhancing your personal growth so that you're continuing to learn. Many practitioners I know, they're constant learners. They are sponges. That's what got them into the healing arts, whether in specifically the industry I'm very familiar with, the biofeedback. It is as much of an educational journey, if not more, for those practitioners than it is sometimes for the clients who are more or less coming for a specific need or a challenge to overcome. In that process, they learn, yet your greater body of understanding is a constant, right? You crave it, and it's important to have. Going through, also there's some other elements. You get to try and you get to benefit, you get to share by experience. Many have been going through the motions for years without changing much about their practice's approach. This pattern is unhealthy for both marketing and personal standpoint. You know, when you include other, let's call it tools and resources, and in this case, we're talking nutritional product lines. There's a ongoing nurturing and nutrition standpoint of almost not only the physical, right, that biochemistry, brick and mortar, like we talked about, but again, back to the education. and the change and the new lines and the research and the newsletters you get connected to those networks is really, really powerful for your own personal growth. Reminding yourself that, hey, this is the game you're in, and these are part of the plays, and you get to continue to learn. Clients want and like to see changes intended to bring them increased health and wellness. By them seeing you make investment into your own growth and the practice, adding a nutritional support component is one's life and business is logical way to do it in one life. That's misspoke there. So here we get into the meat and potatoes. Here we go. 8 simple strategies on how to use the power of product. The time is now to take advantage of the wide range of high quality nutritional supplements for promoting the health of yourself, your clients, and your bottom line, the win-win-win. Number 1, begin with something easy. Start to explore and open the door and learn for different products. And a great way to start too, and to get advice, is from your trusted advisors or your teachers, your coaches, your trainers, your fellow practitioners who are making a profound example. Maybe try a product. See if it works for yourself. As you learn about the latest developments in the greater industry as well, you'll realize how much more you have to offer your clients. Nutrition is a natural extension of the work you do, and your existing clients who believe in this service that you provide are likely to be interested in the merits of a balanced diet, supplements that are supportive to them, all towards their wellness journey. There are only 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. By Buddha. Now, again, that's starting. You want to start, but start small. When you start something, or when you are going to, if any of you are runners, or you are in weight training or any type of athletic sport, you start with the end goal of becoming, let's call it, very proficient in that art, that exercise art. Let's say you're training for a 10K. I grew up running the Boulder, which is a 10K in beautiful Boulder, Colorado, and it's a let's just say it's a zoo. There's like 55,000 people running, and unless you're an elite athlete, you get to start at the front where you're running with other elite athletes. I was never that. I cruised along in the pack, yet I even then had to start training and taking a step and running a half mile and back, running a mile, running 2, running 3, then running that 6.2 miles, which is a 10K, and finally, reach the goal. From there, you can build and grow. So the key is to start small, start learning, start reading emails by my father and Professor Nelson, your other fellow colleagues in the field, Dr. Mercola, all these different elements. Start learning about what products and what nutritional components would be beneficial. We get into some specifics that I have learned as a consultant and a supporter of practitioners. What are some of the key elements, also from a client's perspective, because I am a client of this work. That's how my belief system is elevated and raised. Second, all right, so first get started. Familiarize. Number 2, recommend products you yourself have or do use. A half-price sale on an herb or remedy doesn't mean you should stock it on your shelf. Get involved in the process of improving your own health and see what it does for your practice. There's no better marketing, advertising, and I call it investment into your business than to be a living example of the benefits. And that's specific to the health and wellness industry. Other professions where they are providing a product of a trade, or they also have to represent their expertise. As an engineer, my neighbor's a great engineer for one of the automotive companies, and he has to believe and study and be an example of that. But it's different when you are selling wellness. Yet the connection to that value is you and your relationship and your first impression. You got to keep working on yourself. And you know this, I'm just reminding you as your colleague, as your partner, as your friend here. If you don't believe in adding good supplementation and nutritional components to your life and health, neither will your clients. The same holds true for biofeedback and stress reduction, stress management. If you don't use your system and practice or get sessions, go to someone. My father has a Heal or Heal Thyself program where you not only get to get a session, you get to learn and study too of how he works on you, yet you benefit. So go see someone and implement the lifestyle changes yourself. You will forever be selling the idea instead of empowering others to help themselves from your actual experience and testimony. You will be empowering others to help yourself from actual experience and testimony. The only source of knowledge is experience. Mr. Albert Einstein. Thank you, Albert. Number 3, qualify. Use companies that promote the science behind their products with qualified research. Whether you carry 1 or 10 or 20 different brands of product in your office, ensure the product companies participate in ongoing forms of product research, training, and education. What this does, keep you integrated. It creates your, confidence in the product, yet it gives you always a reminding reason to keep using it and to keep sharing it and to pass that research, study, and information on to your clients and patients. You should work with companies that put the client first based on documented clinical studies. This type of quality control adds to your confidence level when recommending the company's products. Look for research that combines input from various professionals such as nutritionists, chiropractors, clinical scientists, and board-certified medical specialists for a focus on holistic or really comprehensive and collaborative, full spectrum approach. Again, we know that the research in some of the major medical journals, that's coming from that model. And I'm not getting into if it's wrong, right, good, or bad. You can make your own education and decision based on your knowledge. If you want to know my opinion, hey, just ask and I'll be happy to share it. But in terms of this, look for products that are supported. They have a medical physician on the board. They also have professionals in your field who use it. And you get that full spectrum, so it's not just coming from a certain industry's agenda of trying to pitch something. Be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. Steve Jobs, gentleman who created and started up Apple. So number 4, timing. Be aware of when your client may benefit most by adding a nutritional component to their wellness plan. Everyone will be different and unique. Start integrating the opportunity for nutritional education somewhere between the 2nd and 5th visit. It will depend on the individual and it will depend on their goals naturally. This is the time frame during which clients' stress levels typically begin to stabilize and they might start to think about, well, let's say not coming back or dropping out of the care that you may be providing. And many times, as we know, it's premature. Something that I love to hear, I don't know the exact words, but I've been to a lot of trainings over the years, and it's about expectations. And when someone's expectations, a friend shares, oh my gosh, Jake, you have to go see so-and-so for your child. They help with anxiety, stress, or for yourself. And this is what it did for me. Oh my gosh, it's so, and they come see you. They have, no matter if it was really honest about what they did, they do have expectations and you have expectations. You need to bring them into alignment quick so that they are honest and they accept and they are responsible right from the get-go to have an accountable, proactive approach and a commitment towards let's say a timeline or 4 sessions, 5 or 10, because that again is usually what it takes to start really tapping in and unwinding. There's something cool. The environment. people's environment, they come for a session, say a biofeedback session, they get back into their stressful environment. Their memory is going to easily tap back into the stress. It's time. You have to be realistic. Now, when you add nutritional supplementation, that could be the first session with a good multivitamin, something that is a universal, just blanket support for their nutritional. You may wait too and get more specific with some of the complex homeopathy that doctor recommends, creates through White Dove Healing Arts. That's, it just depends. You don't want to bombard them with tons of stuff and overwhelm them on the first session. That's going to limit their success, but everybody's different. An athlete coming in who has been on multiple different supplements since he's been in high school, he may be ready to take a really thorough and full spectrum repertoire of product to support his session. Somebody who's never seen a preventative and alternative healthcare professional before, you may start them with just a great product that is a great starting point. So that's on you. That's the timing we're talking about. By adding the nutritional support and education during this pivotal time, you can help your clients become more committed to their wellness goals and ultimately the goal of improving results. This strategy will also give you more interaction and accountability with the client, allowing for them to take the session home, supporting the biofeedback experience or any modality after they return to their life's routine. Everybody has a high point, and a lot goes into that. Timing, situation, and general consciousness. Alex Van Hellen. So value. The product lines in your office should offer value for both you, your business, and your clients. I call it, if it's not a win-win, it doesn't make sense. Marking up products 50 to 100% is not the sole answer, and it's not the answer. Managing time, one's most valuable asset, is crucial. Your time has many dimensions of value. For instance, you will need to be compensated for the increased administration time. This is what I'm talking about, is product implementation. There needs to be orders, inventory possibly, or setting up accounts if you're in an MLM type direct sales where someone can sign up under you, sort of example. If that's the case, that's time, right? That's time. So that needs to be taken in consideration depending on the model of your product line. If it's a wholesale retail model, well, that takes time in its own sense. Ordering product, drop shipping, these types of elements. If it's an MLM and you want to get them and empower them to order themselves or from your website, well, that takes time. Taking that into consideration in terms of the value. Inventory will need to be kept while you and your employees will need to be nutritionally savvy on the product information for proper client education. If you have staff, make sure they're aware so they can ask general questions, saving you time, informing them and raising the value of your whole practice. You must strike a delicate balance in the pricing of your nutritional products and services. The products need to represent a fair market value compared to what your clients can find off the shelf at the local vitamin shop or health food store, all while ensuring you are gaining profit value for your efforts. My father's clinic, White Dove Healing Arts, that I grew up in, and I can speak from example, there are products that people, some of them, the nutritional, let's call it he's got some amazing green and alkalizing drinks from Dr. Barb Marshall and the Quantum Nutrition, has some other great vitamin code supplements you can get off the shelf at Whole Foods. His pricing is just a little bit higher than what people can do retail on the market. Reason being is he has to adjust for the convenience, expertise, and the knowledge around that goes with the product, adds that value, which you don't get if you go to, Whole Foods. I mean, these companies are great. Vitamin Cottage, these guys are great there if you go and ask them for advice. Yet you are getting something very customized to you. It's convenient because it's where you're going to your provider. You don't have to go take a big basket and load up on supplements at the store. You get it there, which is also a factor of why you're your price point can be a little higher. And you could also let people know, like, hey, you can get this from us, or you can get this at the store for about $5 less. I bet you 9 out of 10 times or more, they're going to get it right from you. They want to give you the business. They care about you as you care about them. But you have to be fair. If you're doubling the price and they go to the shop for groceries and they see the same product that you sold them for twice the value, twice the amount, well, that doesn't make sense. That's not a win-win. So value, think of that value, be aware of the market value of your products. And if you have any doubt, contact the manufacturer, contact who you purchased from and ask them. You know, for those of you who use the Doctor Recommends products in my father's through White Dove Healing Arts, call, ask, hey, you guys, what do you recommend I sell these for to my clients? And they have a recommended retail value. If you mark it up $1 for your administrative costs, go ahead. There's a recommended retail value. Now, I know for a fact if they hear about practitioners upselling one of the formulas for $200-300 per unit, that's when the outreach and the education from the provider of product can do their due diligence and say, hey, listen, you know, just to let you know, we want to make sure that no one is getting ripped off here. This is what we recommend. But at the end of the day, no one's stopping you, right? If you attach that to a program where it's included, $300 program for weight loss, and they get a little repertoire, that comes with the full package, well, hey, go for it. But what I mean is marking it up, you want to be, let's say, honest. As every thread of gold is valuable, so is every moment of time. John Mason. 6, clarity. Finding products that help sell themselves with information and informative support materials that educate the client is a great way to boost overall success. The most expensive action you take in your practice is to stop outside of your session to talk. Yet communicating the messages about the products needs to be done effectively. So make it clear and simple. Don't get into long dialogues about the product after sessions or during. Reason being is they are hiring you for the expertise, wisdom, education, and experience that you've invested in so that you can get to the solution why they're seeing you. If they're hiring you to be educated and trained to do what you do, that's different. But they're coming in to say, for example, I'm coming in because I can't sleep. And if I can't sleep, I can't work, I can't provide, my health is declining, my adrenal glands are shot, and I got bags under my eyes, I've got no energy. That's why they're coming in. Now, they need to know that the product is valid, safe, effective, yet they're paying you for your due diligence and they trust you. That's like me hiring a contractor to come remodel my kitchen, and I waste the contractor's time informing me of how he manages and uses and how the mortar saw and the hammer work and why it's important in the research behind the hammer to make it's, hey, it's fun and you're going to get clients that are interested in that. Yet remember, being real clear, effective will also build confidence in that person taking it. Too much sometimes it kind of, we've heard the word the saturation effect, where somebody comes and you just you're so excited about a new product, you're so excited about new technology, and you let it loose. They get flooded, so much so that they're not listening to a word after 5 minutes, yet you continue on for a half hour because their brain has an unconscious protective mechanism like, wait a second here, I'm not ready for all this, I'm shutting this off, even though it may be the best thing for them. So make it clear and simple. If you repeatedly find yourself taking a lot of time to explain how something works, your technology, your vitamins, you would be much better off finding the company that has supported you and already doing that for you, right? like here's some literature on the product that we talked about. Learn more about it if you're interested. Go to their website or contact me, or we can chat. Write a list of questions. And next week, by the way, let me book you here. Next week at 10 o'clock a.m., when you're coming in for your third out of your 8 sessions, we can discuss. Give them some homework to do. Have them go home and do their due diligence. That's why it's important before to have companies that have some good reputation, right? Because again, in today's day and age, people will find information, good and bad, about everything. And they know that. So you don't need to get defensive if there's a stink out there around a product. No, they trust you first. You can inform them if there's something major that's happened in the industry that they need to be aware of if they're going to do their own research, so that you can pre-warn them and prepare. At the same time, they just want to take the product and feel better. Remember, they don't need to know all this stuff. They may want to, but and if they want it, you gotta have it. See, that's the difference. Yet up front, you don't flood them. Clients can review the information, let you know if they have any questions. So make sure, let's see here. There's a coaching program with the Quantum Academies, and by the way, there is a special for any practitioners out there who are biofeedback practitioners. If you have already or haven't yet, but you own a system and you want to retake any of the courses, because there's a new revision of the Quantum Academy online training with the new Eductor 64 software, you can take that at 50% off, and I'll give you a code here at the end of the course, or I'll attach it to this video and you'll make sure you have it. But take advantage of that, because what you get is not only the past trainings with the Skio, the Indigo Access, you get the new Eductor 64 with a great colleague of ours, Dr. Faith Nelson, redid all of the new software curriculum, the beginners, intermediate, advanced. And the coaching course is great because it teaches you how to communicate, and that's the art of your work, the communication arts. How do you deliver the value with enough information, direct, powerful, effective, and also read everybody's different needs for that. See, it's not so much about just only the ability to define and share information. It's to identify and relate to when and how and the approach of sharing that information to the different people. That to me is the art in the healing arts. Here's a great quote by Bill Gates, and he has, foundations that fund vaccines and stuff. That's not the point here. The point is, here, I'm a great believer that any tool that enhances communication has profound effects in terms of how people can learn from each other and how they can achieve the kinds of freedoms that they're interested in. So really be effective in that communication surrounding not only your sessions, and that's not for me, I'm talking about the products. Be very clean, have information ready, simple one-pagers on your product lines so that it goes with the product. You can give a little highlight and say read more. If you need more, go to the site or contact us later. Meaning have the communication workflow and make it simple, make it easy. Think about if you went into an office and you went to your practitioner, your massage therapist, and they're using a great new tool to work on your back, and you're interested in buying one. Why are you buying it? To use it and to get the benefits. You just need validation that, okay, this company knows what they're doing, it's safe, it's effective, okay, there's a number I can call if it digs in too deep and hurts me in my back, whatever it is. So think of that in those lines. 7, simplicity. This ties into the previous, keeping it short and simple. Choose product lines that support what your focus is and keep it simple. For example, if you work with a large number of, let's say, baby boomers or the generation, my parents' generation, who were born in that, post World War II, 1940s to I think it's like 55, 60, that range, you might want to carry a line of anti-aging, joint, and personal enhancement hormonal support products. designed to aid in stress management of conditions or injuries, stressors, most common to this demographic group. A way to figure this out is really to look at what is. What I mean is look at what you have now. Look at the demographic of your clients. Let's just go in, go back to your last 10 or 20 or 30 and just do real quick age, sex, and what you'll do is you'll be able to kind of, in a kind of, well, let's call it an elementary way, do a little demographic profile. You probably know this off the top of your head, but writing it down sometimes really puts it in perspective. What was their main area of concern? This is for your own information, because sometimes what you want as a practitioner, as a human being to provide and serve isn't what the reality of what market's coming to you. That, I'm going to repeat that. Just because you, in a way, think of yourself having your own identity, which you need and have, the perception and the influence that you make and the market that you attract is maybe not in direct alignment with that. So listen, you have to listen to that and be aware. It doesn't mean you change who you are, but your business has its own identity, and that identity has to relate to the identity of your customers, of your clients, of your patients. And so if you're forcing and trying to be, let's say, in the elite athlete market, right? And because you worked on a few elite athletes, yet 9 out of 10 customers come in for pre and post menopause, anti-aging, and that osteoporosis, this later second, third phase of life stressors. Well, then wake up to that, cater to that, and really love and welcome that. I'm a full believer in do what you love and create a living doing what you love, but that doesn't mean ignore, not listen to what what's coming back to you, right? You have to have passion about what you do and love it. You have to also listen to what markets are hearing you and buying your services, right? It's really not one or the other, it's both. And in that point, here are some starting simple fundamentals that I'm just giving you some ideas, you guys. If you're not in the game and you haven't looked at adding a line, think of the basics, right? Multivitamin. And these are I even put it in the article. Jake, recommend starting with these 5 simple fundamentals. And this is because I believe 9 out of 10, most people could use some support here. Multivitamin, essential fatty acids, right? Some good lipid profile, omega profile, some form of good fats, an alkalizing green drink or supplement. Usually liquids are great, even powder, because make it a liquid. Your body really likes to absorb that better. And digestive support and immune support, which is really digestive support. Probiotics, enzymes, immune support. Though that's kind of like my fundamental that I always have around. Even if I'm not on a specific plan or goal setting where I'm losing weight or training for an event or trying to lose a certain amount of body fat, that's my staple, along with good nutrition, which really nothing can compete against. Yet we know why we need supplementation today. That's not the focus of the call. For those of you who already know this, let it be a reminder. Revisit, hey, is this company that is supporting you? Do you want to try a new one for yourself? Again, people are the most adaptive beings on this planet. We get used to routine and to, well, let's call it, we adapt very quickly to things. And the key to growth, and this is my opinion, is to not be so inconsistent and various that you throw yourself off the track, but you shift and you shift and you shift and you change. And it's not a linear model straight. It is a up, a down, a left, a right, a turn, or this along the way. And And then you get this great rhythm and frequency rolling where you're on and off of these products that you love. But even the products I love, I have to get off sometimes because it's not, the effects have gone void. And that's something I'm preaching to the choir, but something to think of. So maybe having a couple variations, and that you can alternate with people to shift it. You'll notice that, I notice that when I run myself on the system, is that I almost get, I adapt really quickly to products and supplements. Same with caffeine. I love coffee, but I have to go from a little bit of coffee, organic ground beautiful coffee, to green tea, to actually just none at all. If I just stay on one, it adapts, adrenals get milked, kidney, liver, all this stuff gets, funky, and I need to shift. Now, along with detoxing, of course, along the way. Okay, number 8, the last one, empower. Realize that nutrition can and does support the sessions, any session, any modality, given from your biofeedback sessions or other modalities, thus enabling even more of one's ability to take a proactive approach and responsibility in their wellness. The key is finding the balance when educating what product is best for the stress that your client needs, support managing. A client who has a responsibility to take care of himself is a client on the road to success. Good rapport and good results equals good, high client retention. The goal is to empower your clients to play a more active role in improving their health and wellness, rather than waiting for someone to do it and waiting. And it's not that you don't trust them, but why not empower them in your center, in your office, with what expertise, education, knowledge, and tools and products you have then to support them and educate them and get them out the door with an actual package that will increase their success. Nutrition is an ideal means of getting patients or clients to take responsibility for their own health, as well as support the fundamental underlying energetic blueprint that is now ready to be built upon. Remember, a real decision is measured by the fact that you've taken new action. If there's no action, you haven't truly decided. Tony Robbins, Mr. Robbins there. The lasting, and to summarize here, adding a pillar to the table of success. The lasting benefits of adding nutrition to your practice will be extremely satisfying. You will enjoy an increase in profits, as well as have a practice full of satisfied and better educated clients who can now make better choices affecting their health and the health of their greater influence, their family, friends, parents, daughters, husbands, wives. More clients will become referring parties for your practice as they experience the scope of services you offer compared to the limited choices many of them say we're facing in the sickness care environment of conventional healthcare model. This is something I wrote because the more, and again, less is more sometimes, but when they go and they see that they can, all the information out there that they're getting bombarded with, from online to the grocery stores to all their friends selling and pitching them something, right? Some juice, some product, next miracle cream, whatever it is, trust me, I get a lot of it. I work with practitioners who they get a lot of it, and they go, oh, let's get them in. And I've gotten in, and many of them are great products. My point is, they're coming to you, the most perfect, safe environment where they are trusting you. You are their, what you call their trusted advisor, right? We all have a trusted advisor. It may not be officially a trusted advisor, or trusted authority who they trust to guide them. So why not guide them and also prepare them is the point. Adding nutrition to your practice now can be a win-win situation for you, your practice, and your clients. Long-term benefits for all, and that's the win-win-win. You, your practice, and your clients. You can't really have success in one without the other in terms of a professional practice. You can't have successful clients and your practice be unhealthy and you unhealthy, right? You can't have very healthy self, but your practice is failing. That will affect your clients and you. So you have to think about that triad, right? That power of the triangle. You know, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, the Senate, the state, the judicial, all of the executive, like the triad, the triangle. That's what we're going to educate more on later with the chrysalis. Achieve success in any area of life by identifying the optimum strategies and repeating them until they become habits. This is my information. This is old. This is about the, I wrote this when I was with the Quantum Alliance. And I am done here. So with that said, I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And what I'm going to do is send out with this, I'll add it to the video, the promo, and also some information. But make sure to check out whitedovehealing.com. It's whitedovehealing.com. And also the quantumacademies.com. I'm going to give everybody a code and password for the Quantum Academies so that you can access and get a savings on the education. So with that said, everybody stay focused, stay happy, stay healthy. And if you have any good products, you know, share them with me. I'm always open. My door is always open to learn. I've got a couple really exciting products. One is a technology that is completely different than anything I've ever worked with that we're bringing to market. And the other is, of course, me supporting my father's clinic and the great work he's doing there, the Homeotherapeutic Consultant Coach course. If you order through White Dove Global, you know, you can get a 10% discount. And so just keep in touch, holler at me if you need. You can email me at info@whitedoveglobal.com. Blessings to you all. Have a great weekend. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay focused, be proactive, and do something you love this weekend. Till next week, I'm out.